Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Jazz and today I'm going to be showing you my setup for July in my bullet journal. But first I'm going to take you all the way back to May and we're going to do a flip through of my finished pages for May and June because I never uploaded anything in the month of June. So here is me making up for that for you. My May theme was Friends, the TV show. It was a lot of fun, and I do have a video of me setting up these front pages here. I actually went ahead and used some sticky notes to block out sensitive information during the flip through portion here because I knew I was going through 2 months worth, so there was a lot that I would have to be blurring out, and this just seemed a little bit easier for me. So apologies for the big post-its. But that was the plan this time. If you are a fan of Friends, I hope you like these pages. I tried to pick my favorite little tidbits from the show and stick them in wherever possible. I also had the Friends stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. that I used throughout every single page. They are so cute and they were so perfect fitting with this theme. This was also the first time I did weekly habit trackers instead of monthly habit trackers, and I don't hate it. I'm not sure which one I like better, but I definitely didn't hate it. June was an insane month. I went with a very simple theme and did stationery. I actually really like how most of these pages turned out. I've just been such a stationery hoarder lately. As much as I've been getting into bullet journaling and planning, the more stuff I acquire, and it just seemed like an easy theme to keep up with because there wasn't going to be a whole lot of elaborate drawing going on. I could do a lot of straight lines and simple objects, so that was why I did that. I want to quickly address the Black Lives Matter movement that's been going on. I would have really like to create a whole spread dedicated to the movement, but I wasn't really feeling that creative about it at the time. I did put a small portion on one of my weekly spreads that you can see here, focusing on the positive changes that have come about so far from people speaking out against the injustices. It's also a big reason why I didn't upload anything around the 1st of June, because that was a time when my voice didn't need to be heard. I really took a step back on all of my social media platforms, not to talk and instead to listen and to learn. And I've been learning and researching a lot ever since, that whole movement kind of exploded. And I'm intent on being an ally and an advocate in every way that I can. And it's still a very important cause and a very important thing that is an ongoing battle, and I just want to use my tiny platform to make anybody aware, if you aren't already, to use your voice in a similar way and to listen and to learn. There's always room for growth, and Black Lives Matter, period. June was a very intense month with Pride and Black Lives Matter protests very in the forefront of my life. So I really appreciate anybody who is also out there learning and educating themselves and speaking out against injustices. I am right there with you. So moving on to the July portion. My theme for July is watermelon. And this came from that Harry Styles song, Watermelon Sugar. I am obsessed with that song. I've listened to it probably a million times the past couple of weeks. And I just kind of ran with the concept. I thought watermelon would be really fun and summery and pretty easy to do throughout the month. I also started with this kind of a cover page for July instead of going right into the calendar. I'm not entirely in love with the way this half watermelon turned out. It reminds me a lot of Beetlejuice for some reason. It's like a summer version of Beetlejuice. I don't know if anyone else sees that, but I can't get that image out of my head now. But I did like my hand lettering on the other side. I just tried a couple new font styles and shading techniques, and I thought it turned out okay. So, you know, trying new things all the time. That's what bullet journals are for. On these next pages, I drew a very large calendar. I went ahead and switched up the way I am doing the calendar for this month. I usually have a numerical list as well as a visual calendar, and I got rid of my list this month and I made the calendar a little bit bigger. I'm gonna try to see how this goes with just using the visual calendar and writing in my appointments and events in the actual boxes instead of on the list next to it. Just kind of been inspired by other people's calendars that I've seen lately, and I wanted to go ahead and give it a try for myself. Also, I got a promotion at work starting the beginning of this month. Hooray! So the things that I normally used the calendar for work-wise, I'm not going to need as much with my new position. So it just made sense to kind of switch up the way that I did my monthly overview. On my next spread, I did a mood tracker on the left-hand side and a gratitude tracker on the right. I wrote the word mood inside half of a watermelon. And then I just listed the days of the month on the left-hand side going down. This is really similar to the last few months that I've done, where I did faces across the top from unhappy to happiest, and then I'll just put my plan is to put a watermelon seed on the spectrum next to each number for the days of the month. And on the right hand side with the gratitude tracker, pretty simple, same idea, one line for each day to write down something happy that happened or something that I'm grateful for. I tried to use the little slices of watermelon in place of letters in the word. I'm not sure how great that turned out, but for my last spread for July, I'm making a brain dump page. I kept this one pretty simple. I just wrote brain dump across the top with my little watermelon slices on either side. And then I put a big chunk of bitten watermelon in the bottom corner. And I kept with the same style font throughout all of these pages, where I wrote on top of the letters again on the bottom half or the top half to create kind of an ombre effect with the color. And then I outlined them and used a drop shadow. That was pretty consistent across all these pages. I also outlined and drop shadowed all the little watermelon slices. And here is a final flip through of all of my July pages. I literally cannot believe it's already the 7th month of the year. This year has been insane for so many weird reasons that I just can't even begin. I hope that all of you are staying safe and healthy and sane during this time, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.